thank you for joining us. To start off, could you please introduce yourself and share a little bit about your work?
Hi, my name is Haris Denisto bin Adam Cristo. I usually work as a barista in cafe, or maybe sometimes I will work as odd job. Like recently, I started working at Tech Dome Penang to help out their workshop, something odd job like that. Yes, I will be glad to be any help of you. Job scope depends on the job from time to time. Like for my part time, I usually work as a barista. I will make cafe latte, and then sometimes I will join part time as a volunteer to do workshop to teach Maker Uno, to teach how to use electronic devices, something simple like that.
Okay. Next question. As a Chinese Muslim, how how was your culture and religion's identity shape the way you see yourself and the way others perceive you?
Yes, they do impact me the way I see myself and others. Growing up, I learned to embrace both my Chinese heritage and my Islamic faith, even though they come from very different traditions. My Chinese background taught me the importance of family, respect for elders, and hard work, while Islam instilled in me values such as honesty, discipline, and compassion. Together, these influences have made me someone who value both spiritual and cultural balance in life. However, being a Chinese Muslim also affect how others see me. Some people are surprised to learn that I'm Muslim because they often os- associate Chinese culture with non-Muslim tradition. While this sometimes leads to misunderstanding, it also opens meaningful conversation about diversity and acceptance. Overall, my identity as a Chinese Muslim had taught me to be proud of my uniqueness and to embrace the beauty of both worlds. Yes, at home or at work, I often navigate between Malay, Mandarin, and English depending on the situation and the people I'm communicating with. Each language represents a different part of my daily life and identity. At home, I mostly speak Malay with my family because it feels more natural. Sometimes I will use Chinese to communicate with my siblings, especially my twin brother, which also went to Chinese school with me. At school or at school or in at work, I switch to English and Malay more often. English is usually used in formal discussion, meetings, or reports, while Malay is important for communicating with colleagues, clients, or friends who are more comfortable in the national language. I also find that switching language help me connect better with different groups of people. It shows respect and help build trust and understanding. Although switching between languages can be challenging at times, I see it as strength rather than a problem. It allows me to move smoothly between cultures and express myself in the most appropriate ways for each contact. Being multilingual has not only shaped how I communicate, but also how I relate to others in a diverse environment.
For a follow-up question, can you share an example where people react differently to you depending on the language you used?
Okay. Yes, I have noticed people react differently depending on the language I use. For example, when I order food in English, the seller was polite but distant. But when I switch to Malay, they become more warmer and more talkative. Similarly, when I spoke Mandarin to an elderly Chinese customer, they immediately seemed more comfortable and friendly. This moment showed me that language isn't just about word; it helps build trust and connection. In a multicultural places like Malaysia, The way we speak can really shape how others see and respond to us. Okay. In my culture, eye contact with elderly should be respectful but not too direct. I try to maintain light eye contact to show that I'm listening, but avoid staring too hard because it can seem rude. It's about balance, showing attention while still being humble. This reflects both Chinese respect for elders and Islamic value of politeness and modesty.
Next question. Do you notice any differences in non-verbal communication, such as greetings, eye contact, or personal space, when you interact with Muslims compared to non-Muslims?
Yes, I do notice some difference in non-verbal communication between Muslim and non-Muslim. For example, when greeting Muslim, I usually avoid physical contact like handshake with the opposite gender and instead place my hand over my chest as a sign of respect. Among non-Muslim, handshake or even light touches on the shoulders are more common. In terms of personal space, Muslim tend to be a bit more reserved while non-Muslim may stand closer or be more expressive. These differences are small, but being aware of them helps me show respect and communicate comfortably with everyone. Mm. I show respect non-verbally in different ways depending on the setting. When I'm with elders or in more traditional Chinese environment, I tend to speak softly, smile politely, and avoid too much eye contact to show humility. In a Muslim setting, I usually greet with my hands over my chest and keep a modest posture. I adjust my gesture and tone based on who I am speaking to. It's my way of showing understanding and respect across culture.
And a final question from me. Have you ever faced misunderstandings or conflicts because of being a Chinese Muslim in Malaysia? And how did you deal with them?
Yes, I have faced a few misunderstandings before because of being a Chinese Muslim. Some people were surprised or even questioned whether I'm really Muslim just because I'm Chinese. Others didn't realize that Chinese Muslims also follow halal practices, so they would accidentally offer food that I couldn't eat. When this situation happened, I tried to stay calm and explain politely. I took it as a chance to share more about my faith and culture. Most people become more understanding after that, and some were even curious to learn more. I believe patient and open communication are the best way to handle such misunderstanding. If I were at a company dinner where most of the food isn't halal, I would handle it respectfully and calmly. I would look for vegetarian or seafood option if available, or just have a drink and enjoy the company. If my colleague asks, I would explain kindly that as a Muslim, I can only eat halal food, which is part of my religious practice. I would make sure to say it in a friendly manner so that they don't feel uncomfortable or offended. Usually, people understand and even appreciate the honesty. For me, it's important to stay true to my faith while being respectful and sociable with others.
Well, I guess that is all from us. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, you too.
Okay.